Google just dropped NotebookLM's video overview feature, and it's hands down one of the best features in NotebookLM to date. And really, it's hands down one of the best creative AI tools that are out there. So if you are not familiar, I talk all the time about how I think NotebookLM is like one of the most powerful tools you can use for, research, content creation, content repurposing, and now for creating educational videos as well. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can create an educational video out of any piece of content. So before we get into that, let's just take a look at the announcement. Google announced a couple days ago that they're introducing video overviews, a visual alternative to audio overviews. If you're not familiar, audio overviews is basically how you create a podcast on NotebookLM. Now you can dive deeper with short, engaging slide summaries using images, diagrams, quotes, and data from your sources narrated by your AI host. So this is what NotebookLM looks like. If you're not familiar, you're going to come in here, you're going to create a new notebook. All right, and you're going to need to upload a source. You can do anything here. Like the video that this creates is so impressive. I've never seen AI generated video so well. And not that it's like some super complicated video or anything like that, just how clean and educational and organized and engaging it is. So you're going to need to upload a source. For me, I'm going to upload one of my newsletters that does really well on Substack, How to Become a Context Engineer in 2025, the $100,000 skill no one's teaching. And like I said, you can use this for any content. You can use this for newsletters. You can use this for courses, course modules, research papers, anything. All right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy the URL, and I'm going to upload it in my notebook as a link. All right, insert that, and then let that go. It's going to upload. We're going to put just one source in here, but you can create video overviews out of multiple different sources. I'm going to stick with just one for you to see. And over here on the studio, on the right, you now see this tab here for video overview. Before we had audio overviews and mind maps and reports. They have this updated studio section now here too. It looks really nice and clean. And you're just going to click a video overview, and it's going to start generating based off of your source. All right. Warning, as of right now, these take quite a long time to generate. I've generated a couple so far, and, even this one with just one source took somewhere between 15-20 minutes to generate. So it's not fast, but it generated a 7-minute video, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. So that took about 20 minutes. And then other times where I've put, multiple 7, 8, 9 sources in there, it took quite a while. It took upwards of 20 plus minutes. This is probably going to get faster over time. A couple times it failed. So it's going to take some time. It's going to get better. But just know, generate this video and go do something else and come back later. Now, we're not going to wait for that. So I already have the same one updated in another notebook that's generated. Once it's done, you're going to see it over here as a video. You can click it. It opens up here. All right, and then you can play it or download. I'm going to cut out here, show you, a section of the video for you to see, and then get back in and start talking a little bit more about it.
So, if you're working with AI every day, listen up. What we're about to talk about could totally change the game for you and for your career. We're going to go way beyond just prompting and get into the one skill that honestly separates the real pros from the amateurs. Let's jump in. You see this number? $100,000. That's what our source material calls this skill. It's the key that unlocks everything, the thing that helps you move past those generic, kind of bland AI results and start creating stuff that's truly powerful and unique. The thing is, the window to get ahead on this is closing, and it's closing fast. So let's get you ready for what's coming. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the big problem everyone's having with prompts. Then I'll introduce you to the solution, context engineering. After that, we'll look at the new 80-20 rule for AI, which is a real eye-opener. Then we'll cover your first steps to get going, and we'll wrap up with why it's so important to act on this right now. Okay, let's dive into section 1. We're starting with a frustration that I bet every single one of us has felt. You spend all this time learning to prompt, but the stuff you get back from the AI still feels, well, a little generic, right? Tell me if this sounds familiar. You spend hours, maybe even days, trying to perfect a prompt. You tweak every single word, and what you get back is, well, it's fine, it's usable, but it doesn't have your voice, your spark, your unique point of view. It just feels kind of hollow. You are definitely not alone in feeling that. I love this quote from Alex McFarland, the author of our source material. He says we're all hoarding prompts like they're Pokemon cards. Trying to collect them all, looking for that one rare holographic prompt that's going to solve everything. But that's just not how it works. And that's the real disconnect. We've bought into this myth of the perfect prompt, this idea that there's some magic combination of words out there. But a prompt is just a tool. It's like a hammer, and a hammer is pretty useless if you don't have a blueprint. The reality is, what makes a prompt work is the foundation you give it, and that foundation is context. The goal isn't collecting more tools, it's building the whole system. So if collecting prompts is the wrong move, what's the right one? Well, this is where everything changes. We have to shift from collecting templates to actually building something. And that's a concept called context engineering. So what on earth is context engineering? Simply put, it's the practice of building a dedicated knowledge system specifically for your AI. Think of it like you're creating a custom brain for the AI to use, a brain that's filled with your frameworks, your voice, your data. That way, when you write a prompt, it's not pulling from the generic internet. It's tapping into this deep, unique context that you built, and that's how you get amazing results. This requires a totally different way of thinking, a complete paradigm shift. For the last couple of years, the question has always been, what's the perfect prompt for this task? A context engineer asks a fundamentally different question. They ask, what context do I need to build first? See the difference? You build the foundation before you even think about the prompt. It changes everything. So what are we actually building here? It really breaks down into 3 layers. First, there's your knowledge architecture. That's what you want your AI to know, your secret sauce. Second is the context hierarchy. That's how all that information is organized so that AI can use it effectively. And finally, there's your unique prompt strategy. That's how you specifically access all that context you've built. And here is the real game changer. When you start working this way, your prompts are no longer just some generic templates you copied from the internet. They become your own intellectual property. Seriously, they're basically worthless to anyone else because they only work with your custom-built context. But for you, they're pure gold. Okay, let's try to put some numbers to this. The impact here is so big that it actually creates a whole new 80-20 rule for getting great results from AI. It's about understanding where the real work happens. According to our source, the old model is completely flipped on its head. Today, 80% of the quality of your result comes from the context you set up beforehand. Only 20% comes from the prompt itself. I mean, just let that sink in. The vast majority of the value is created before you even type a prompt. And yet, where is everybody spending all their time and energy? Obsessing over that little 20%. This is really the heart of it. Without that foundation of context, even the most brilliant, perfectly worded prompt is just going to spit out generic garbage. But with context, your prompts suddenly become these incredible precision instruments. All right, so you get it. This is a big deal. The next logical question is, okay, great. So how do I actually start doing this? Let's break down the very first steps you can take. So your first project isn't to go find another prompt pack online. It's this. Number 1, create your knowledge architecture. This is about getting all of your unique ideas, your frameworks, your perspectives out of your head and into a system. Number 2, design your context hierarchy. This is how you organize it all. And number 3, develop new interaction patterns. And this is huge. You have to stop treating the AI like a vending machine where you put a prompt in and get a result out. You need to start treating it like a thought partner that has access to your entire library of knowledge. And finally, let's talk about why this is so urgent. This is not some theory about the future of AI. The opportunity to get way ahead of the curve is happening right now. And that window, it is closing fast. And you can see the proof everywhere. The major AI companies are already building their platforms around this idea. You've got features like ChatGPT projects, Claude projects, Gemini Gems. What are all of these? They're tools designed specifically for building and referencing deep, ongoing context. The tools aren't on their way. They're already here. This timeline really puts it into perspective. Right now, today, is when the opportunity is wide open. But the source predicts that in just 6 months, the idea of prompt engineering by itself will start to seem outdated. And by 2025, the people who have learned to build these context systems, they won't just be valuable.
All right, after seeing that video, you could see it's like incredibly well made. It's very clean. I was super impressed by how well the text is on it, how they can go and pull out quotes, use little visuals and charts and diagrams. And so it's really useful for educational content. I would say probably stick with educational content. Anytime, something like these visuals and charts and stuff would be useful, that's what you're going to want to do. As of right now, there's not much variation. Most of the videos you're going to create are going to look just like this. They all use the same kind of template. But this is by far like such a amazing tool, and also really shows us what's possible and what's coming here soon. So I would love to see Google include more like templates later on. Maybe there's going to be different types of video. Maybe you're going to be able to choose different voices. You don't have much control over this right now, but definitely go use it. Put this in your newsletters. Use this for course modules, for anything that you want to use visual content to supplement. Go try it out. NotebookLM is free, and there's nothing stopping you from creating incredibly engaging videos now that before would have cost a lot of money or a lot of time and would have required you to hire somebody with the specialized skills to do so.